In this video demonstration, we will show you how to extract, install, and use Printer Properties Pro. Once you go to our website and download the product, you will have a ppp.exe. Double-click on it, and it will ask you to extract it to a network folder. We need to extract the exe to a network folder because we will need to access the files from two different computers. If you extract it to a local drive on the computer, you will not be able to access the files from another computer. So we recommend you extract it to a network folder. We're going to extract this to X apps PPP folder and click on unzip. And then that'll open up a README file. We'll go ahead and close that. We're stepping through the README now. Now let's open up the folder that we extracted the files to. So here in this folder, we have 5 files, and the two that we will be concerned with right now are the PPP admin and the PPP client. Right now, as the administrator, we will run the PPP admin and set up the printers, and then later on, we will run the PPP client on the end user's machines so that they can receive the settings. So I'll go ahead and double click on the PPP admin here. Accept the license agreement. And that brings up our PPP admin. Now over here on the left is our NDS or eDirectory tree browser. I'll go up to a different context, go down to the presentation printers and select printer 1. Then I just need to enable it so it is enabled in PPP. And then we simply go down and click on Configure Printer Properties. That will bring up the properties of the printer, and we'll go into here and set up some of the different options that you would want the printers to have when they are installed on the end user's machines. Let's go over to Input Tray 2, 3, the bypass, and you can set any of these settings. Alright, so I go ahead and apply those. And let's go and change some of the printing preferences in the General tab. You can go down and click on Printer Preferences. Let's change the orientation and size to A4, and also the source of the paper. Let's make that come out of Tray 2. So once we're done here, go ahead and apply the settings. Hit OK. And hit OK to close the window. And now click Continue, and then Apply, and that will apply the settings into Printer Property Pro. That is all it takes to set up a printer configuration with Printer Properties Pro. What we will do now is demonstrate how the PPP client works on the end user's machine. Now that we're on the end user's machine, let's go in and look at the printer settings the way they are by default. We'll go to the printer, right-click, and go down to the properties. We'll notice that everything in the printer tab is just left to the way the printer is installed by default. None of the paper trays are set to A4. Let's go over and look at the printing preferences and verify that those are set as default as well. Everything's set as default, so we'll close this window and go out. And we will now go out to the folder where we extracted our files from the ppp.exe. That was in the apps PPP folder out on the network. And now what we're going to do is click on the ppp-client.exe. And this distributes the settings to the end user. Normally, you would run the ppp-client.exe from a login script or a shortcut or an null object, but for the demonstration here, we're just going to double-click on it. It is important to note that there is no install. The PPP client doesn't have to be installed on the machine, just simply ran from the network location. So as soon as we double-click on it here, it will bring up our evaluation version screen, and we'll just go ahead and accept that. And as soon as we accept that, the printer settings are now configured on this printer. So let's go down to Start Settings Printers and take a look at the printer settings now. We'll go up and right click on it, go to the properties, and go into that printer tab. Now you'll notice all the settings are exactly the way that we set them in the PPP admin. All the trays are set to the proper paper size. And let's verify that the printing preferences are also set. Our orientation is at A4. Our paper source is set on tray 2, and it reflects it in the image there. And so within 3 or 4 minutes here, you can configure your printers and have all your end users run the PPP client and have all the printer settings set exactly the way that you want them. That's how simple it is. There's no extending the schema, no NLMs on the servers, and no client install. That's how easy it is. If you are interested in purchasing Printer Properties Pro, you can purchase it online with a credit card or simply fax in a purchase order. In either case, we'll get you the license in the same day and you'll be able to be configuring your printer properties immediately.